Hello, welcome to Chantel's Homeschool. I'm Chantel. I am mom to 7 kids. My oldest 2 have graduated, so I am now down to 5 that I'm homeschooling. I hope that you stick around. I'd like to share things that our family is using, my thoughts, a few family updates, so I hope you stick around. I wanted to share with you a new release from The Good and the Beautiful. It is their Little Hearts and Hands, Nests and Burrow. They have a big book of science stories, and then, and then the parent guide. This will be the science that my youngest 2 are going to be using. They're both 8 years old and going into 3rd grade. Now, these books are typically geared for preschool through 2nd grade. My kids are going into 3rd grade, so they're a little on the older side. However, when I looked through the books, I just really felt like this was going to fit where they're at right now. We did a couple sample lessons of this particular unit, and they really enjoyed it. They had a lot of fun, and they asked when we were going to do more. So we're going to go ahead and we're going to work through their units. They now have 5 of these units, and we're going to just work through them. We're going to start with the nests and burrows, and then we are going to move into whatever next one they choose. They have a few to choose from, which I will show you here in just a sec. Something to keep in mind with the Little Hearts and Hands is that each book doesn't advance in difficulty. They're all the same difficulty. So if you get their very first one, Fields and Flowers, and then their newest one, Nests and Burrows, it's not going to be easier. Like the first one's not going to be the easiest one, and Nests and Burrows is going to be the hardest one. Like they're made at the same level. So that's something to keep in mind. Now your kids might be interested in one topic of a certain unit over another, for example. It'd be just as easy for them to do it as all of the others. Hopefully that makes sense. In each Little Hearts and Hands, there's about 30 lessons. If you do one a week, that's about a year's worth of science. Because my kids are a little on the older side, I do expect that we're going to go through 2 lessons a week. So we will probably finish 2 units this year. And we may possibly even do 3 because the lessons are just so short and so doable that I don't mind going through 2 or 3 lessons a week. It'll be easy for us to do that. Let me flip this around, and I'm going to kind of walk you through all 5 of them so you can see what they're like and if it would be a good fit for your kiddo. All right, so this is the Little Hearts and Hands, the big book of science stories for nests and burrows, and the parent guide. Like I was showing you, there are stories, not every lesson. So like I was showing you, there are about 30 lessons. And there's also a beginning where it tells you about the course, the lesson overview, and you can scan this code for the audio narrations. If you have some questions, then there's a few frequently answered ones here and activity supplies. So you can get them ready if you need to. And as you can see, there's some for every lesson. There's an opening script. It tells you exactly what to say and do. There's a story, which story time means that you're going to be reading out of this book. And so you're going to read this book. And just keep in mind, if it's too advanced for your kiddo, you could easily shorten this for younger kids and just tell the story in your own words. However, my kids really enjoyed this, and I know my youngest 2 especially would have been fine with this level of reading and the length of the story at kindergarten age. So you'll just have to keep your kids in mind. Maybe you'll have to break the story up into 2 days or something. You'll just need to play it by ear for your kids so they enjoy it. After the story, there's some fun facts. This was probably one of my kids' favorites. They love facts about animals. So it tells you when to read that story. And then you do these discussion questions and an optional activity. This one is nice because it tells you to print out the images of the nocturnal animals mentioned in the story. Out of eyesight of the child, tape the pictures around the house on walls and furniture. Give the child a flashlight and turn out the lights. Have the child search the house for the nocturnal animals that are going about their activities in the nighttime. So that's just an example of a very simple activity to go along with the science lesson. You're going to have everything that you need. You just need a flashlight and to print some pictures of nocturnal animals. So the next lesson, again, there's an opening script. It tells you exactly what you need to do. You can read it if you need to. It gives you ideas. And then there's an audio narration. Now the audio narration is where we're going to come over here to these. In the back of the book, there are these little things you can punch out. My kids preferred to use their own, like Lego humans or strawberry shortcake figurines or whatever it is instead of these. But you can pop these out, and when they listen to the story, a bell is going to ring and they're going to talk about these pictures. And then each time it rings, they move to the next bell and it tells them something about these pictures. My kids really did enjoy this part a lot. After that, you're going to have some more discussion questions. Usually there's 3 or 4, and another optional activity. This one is pretty easy as well. It's drawing a picture of a predator animal. And then there's this one. This one does not have a story or an audio narration. This one, you're going to read it. It has an opening activity. It walks you through it. And then there's the lesson supplies up here. And then there's a little bit longer of an activity to do here instead of a story that you would do. So there's an activity, and then it goes into making a desert diorama. And this one, you might need to do those 2 pages on one day and these 2 pages on another day. And then there's questions again. So it's just kind of like that every time. Sometimes there's a story, sometimes there's audio narrations, and it just varies per lesson. Let me show you a look at what the other ones look like. So here's Science Stories, Fields and Flowers. This one is going to be more about, insects and things you'll find in fields. And the parent guide, I believe they all have about 30 lessons. This particular one uses movies instead of stories. So then you're going to go, in the beginning, there's a QR code, and you can go and watch the video for this one. And the videos are very well done. If you know The Good and the Beautiful, their videos are just always well done. So this one, instead of audio narrations, you have the videos, and then you still have the science stories every so often. Here's another newer one that they came out with, was Bones and Stones. I believe this one has fossils and things in it. I don't know if it goes into dinosaurs. Oh, it looks like it does. And then the parent guide. Again, I'm pretty sure that this has about 30 lessons. Yep, 30 lessons. And for this particular one, let's see, it tells you when to use your storybook. And instead, let's see if it has audio narrations or a movie. So this one uses audio narrations. And it'll walk you through here, like I showed on the other one. You'll move along with the bell with your manipulative in the back. So it has these different pawns that you'll use with each lesson, and it labels. So you'll have it. Another one is the big book of, The Wind and the Waves. This has stories in here. I'm guessing this one is more about the weather. In this one, so you'll have the same format. There's a lesson activity, tells you the supplies, discussion questions, and it looks like this one has a few more experiments, maybe. I haven't seen that yet in the flip-throughs of the other ones that I've done. And let's see, I believe this one uses audio narrations, and so this one has the same setup where they'll follow the bells and the cutouts are in the back to make your pawns. Their final one is the Sparks and Stars. Their story themes are just so pretty. I just can't help but want to use them all. So this one looks like it has audio narrations, and there's the QR code to find it. It's set up pretty much the same way. And I think your kids, especially your experiment kids, are going to love this wind and wave one. And sometimes it has these fun little things that you cut out. I personally would copy them probably so I don't ruin my book, but you could just use them in the book as well. It has audio narration, so you'll follow the bells according to this. And overall, they're just really well done. Here's your cute little manipulative things. Those are fun. So overall, it's really well done. The Good and the Beautiful now has 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. They have all the ones that I showed you, and they are geared for preschool through 2nd grade. As you can see, they have a good variety for kids depending on their interests. My kids are super excited to go through these, and the more I look through them, the more excited I get. I am so glad that I have these younger two to do these science units with. And I think that they're really good beyond the 2nd grade that the Good and Beautiful has them listed as. They do recommend in there somewhere, I heard, I don't know if it was in the book or on their website or just somebody, you just can do one a week. Just one a week. Since my kids are a little older, they're going into 3rd grade, and they've done more advanced science units, we're going to do 2 to 3 a week. I don't see any problems with doing that. And so we're probably going to go through 2 or 3 of the books, 2 or 3 of the units. However, it's really only meant for to do one book. So if you started in preschool, you could do kindergarten, preschool, kindergarten, 1st grade, 2nd grade, essentially 3rd grade. There's 5 levels you could go through, by 3rd grade. Going into 4th grade, they could start the other science units if you just did 1 per year and you started in preschool. We're going to be starting a little on the older side, so we'll see what happens. We may actually use this through 4th grade too. I don't know. I'm not exactly anxious to move into a heavier science right now with these two, and I don't feel like it's one of those areas where you need a super strong program. I feel like 5th or 6th grade is a fine time to do it, but that's my personal opinion. My older boys, the only science we really did was I had a 2nd grade Abeka manual and or student book, and we would read the story, and then we would find an activity online that matched whatever we had read. And we did that about once a week. And my oldest son, was in 3rd grade when we started first homeschooling him. And other things that we did was they liked Magic School Bus. And so I let them watch Magic School Bus as science. And then one of my boys, I bought a Magic School Bus science kit. And so that was his science, but he did it completely on his own and things like that. And he enjoyed it. My husband is a high school biology teacher, and so often he'll bring home a science experiment that he wants to share with the kids, and they'll talk about it. So science has just never been a huge component to our homeschool. The most I've ever done is the last few years when we started with the Good and the Beautiful. And then in high school, we've done a few different things, but I'm excited for these younger science courses. I personally feel like they are perfect for the ages of about 4 to about 8 or 9. Anyways, I hope that you enjoyed this video. The Good and the Beautiful gave me the nests and burrows so I could share it with you. If you want to purchase through my link, go ahead. It's in the description box below. And I always appreciate it when you do buy something through my links, because I get a small commission, and it shows the Good and the Beautiful who sent you and supports me so I can continue to get things to share with you. Also, it helps support this channel, so I don't have to do a subscribe, so you can get the things that I share at no additional cost. So I appreciate shopping through my links. I always have some in the description box below. If you want to see more of our day-to-day, follow me on Instagram. I also have a shop and blog, all linked in the description box below. So we'll see you next time. Bye.